What's up, guys? Chemist here from Meanwhile the Man Cave. We take a look at all things pop culture, games, toys, or anything we think is cool. And today, we are taking a look at the 12-inch G.I. Joe Storm Shadow figure from ThreeZero. Storm Shadow first appeared in G.I. Joe Comics number 21 in March of 1984, and the original toy was released the same year. Storm Shadow's affiliation with Cobra is complicated. His joining the organization was not due to a thirst for conquest, but a thirst for revenge against the person that assassinated his uncle, the ninja master of his dojo. An assassination that he himself was blamed for. Ironically, he joined Cobra on the premise that Cobra Commander would help him find his uncle's murderer, when it was Cobra himself who had hired Firefly to kill Snake Eyes, who had been training at Storm Shadow's dojo. And it is Firefly's accomplice, Zartan, that ends up killing Storm Shadow's uncle by accident. Storm Shadow's allegiances would end up changing over the years until he himself became a Joe. Okay, he's out of the cardboard. Brief preview of what we're going to get in the package. Storm Shadow figure itself. 6 extra hands outside of the ones that are actually on the figure. Got a set of nunchucks up here. Over here on the right, it's kind of hard to see, but the sheath for the swords. Over here, some extra pegs for the hands. Got the bow, some arrows, a couple swords. And let's take a closer look at all this loot. Okay, closer look here at the sheaths for the swords. Got a quiver for the arrows. The strap to hold it on his shoulder. Pretty nice. And you've got a left and right closed fist. Left and right gripping hands. And left and right semi-open hands here. And some nice nunchucks here, utilizing a real chain. These look really good. And the bow. It pulls really nice too. You see it flex here. The arrows here. Now, if you've been watching our videos for any amount of time, you'll remember us doing basically the snow version of Storm Shadow. That was a really nice figure. And here are the 2 swords. Pretty much identical here. So we're just going to take a look at one. These are nice. There is some color variation here. And here he is, Storm Shadow himself. Looks pretty cool. I will say the eyes, they do have a little bit of sheen to them, but they are not as nice as what you would get on a Hot Toys figure. Also not as expensive, so gotta take that into consideration. The figure itself is a lot lighter than a Hot Toys. But I like that we've got this seamless arm. So if you've watched our Peacemaker video, the material that's with this seamless arm is a lot stiffer than what you got with the Peacemaker character. It will bend here at the elbow, but it does want to, you can feel that it wants to spring back because this material is stiffer. So the articulation is better on the Hot Toys with that, just because of the material that makes this figure up. But Still, I prefer them having this seamless arm rather than one with the exposed hinges and everything. Material here, it's almost like a rubbery type material, but I guess it kind of fits because this is almost like an armor. This is cloth material here at the pants, and this belt does seem to be separate from the rest of the outfit, which is cool. You got a place for like the nunchucks and different things like that. Got his boots and these shin guards down here. Shin guards again are more of a almost a plastic like material. Boots do have some tread on them, but overall I do like how this figure looks. There is a wire in this hood, so you can pose that hood as well as just fold it back. I like that as well. So let's take a look at his articulation. Let's put his hood down here. You got your left and right motion. Not much tilt here, a tiny bit, not a whole lot. You can tilt the head slightly, not as robust as some of the figures that we've done. Lateral movement, and it's almost like a ratchet type system here at the shoulder, as well as the normal forward and back. I already kind of showed you, but you can bend at the elbow. But once you spring this up, you can feel that it wants to spring back down. So be prepared for that. We're going to see how that ends up affecting his posing once we get to that part. Doesn't seem to be an abdomen joint here at all. And honestly, no waist joint either. You can angle this hand as well. Down here at the legs, got your forward kick, back, lateral movement. Seems to move pretty freely. And you've got the bending at the knee, bends really easy. And you got a little of this too. So this whole shin bends a little bit. I do like that. So that'll be handy when we go to pose him. As well as down here at the foot, that'll move kind of freely too. I do like that. A little bit forward, quite a bit back. That will be handy when we go to pose him. It should be pretty much the same on the other side. So let's get Storm Shadow's accessories on and get him into some poses, and I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, so I was able to get him into some satisfying poses. I would say mostly because of how well his legs articulated. I love how the shins rotate along with the feet, so it enables him to achieve some really nice stances. So that was really satisfying. I love the seamless arms. They really add to this figure. And that hood, the hood's pretty cool too. I love the fact that it has the wire built into the hood and everything. That way you can actually pose how that hood drapes onto his head. I would have liked if they'd added a little color to the sword sheath and the quiver, but you could add that yourself with a little bit of paint at home. And where the price point, versus a Hot Toys, it kind of gives this figure a little more leeway. I really like that the nunchucks use a real chain, kind of adds to the realism of the look of the weapon. And I was able to get his hands to hold those nunchucks in some satisfying poses as well on there. Overall, I do like the material that this is made out of. I did feel that hard rubber that makes up his vest and everything did kind of fit with the fact that it is kind of an armor on him, so it kind of fit with that. And it goes well with the cloth pants. Again, I'd say the bow kind of falls in the same category as the quiver and the sword sheaths. The fact that I wish that he had added a little color to that, just to give it some accents or whatever. But overall, I gotta say I'm really satisfied with this figure. I was very happy of how I could get it posed. If you can get some sort of figure stand, you can, that way you could get him into some even more dynamic poses, maybe him kicking or whatever. But I don't feel I'll be using a figure stand with him, just because he stands so well by himself, and I found enough poses that I liked without a figure stand to not feel I needed that. So I'm looking forward to have him set up in my 80s display along with my Snake Eyes and Firefly figures. And overall, very happy with this figure. I recommend picking this up if you're a Storm Shadow and G.I. Joe fan. So, if you can, please give us a like and subscribe. It helps others find our videos. And come back every Tuesday at 9 a.m. for a brand new episode of Meanwhile in the Man Cave. Thanks for watching.